Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Level Up. Today we've decided to do a holiday wish list because of all the questions and responses we've gotten to past episodes. So without further ado, I say we get started. But before we do, leave a comment about what you guys wish for and what you guys are hoping for. Alright, let's get started.
It's a very simple question up first. We have, what sequel are you most anticipated to hear? News or release dates about?
A sequel? Well, it's a rumored sequel as far as I know. For me, at least, what I want to see is probably Bully or Horizon Zero Dawn, which I know is being announced already. That I'm really excited about. But yeah, Bully. I want to see what Rockstar can do with Bully.
There's a sequel?
Yeah, like
the first one was a really good game. I kind of think it's underrated.
So do I.
Even by myself, I honestly forget about that game quite often. But there was a lot of stuff and a lot of good times playing that game. So yeah, I can see that. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that is definitely a good one, especially nowadays with new consoles and whatnot, just to see what more you could do in that world.
Yeah.
Well, again, they'll probably just get yelled at and it'll be shut down.
Well, I guess, yeah. Bully, indirectly, like, the title of it isn't very PC these days anymore. You don't want to be known as the bully guy kind of thing. But even still, like, the game, yeah, it was called Bully, but you're mostly, like, defending other kids from bullies.
Yeah.
Being a bully, like, from a lower income school and then getting transferred to this school where, like, you're the low guy on the totem pole. Like, I guess it's a redemption story. You know what I mean? Like, you could look at it like that, but it's one game I did really have fun with and always wish they had something more, like another game to it.
Yeah. I would not have even thought of that one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's one of those games that it is a great game. I just forget about it, and it's just so underrated, even by myself, that I might want to go play it again.
Yeah.
Just as a refresher, like, wow. It's one of those, it's like a treasure game in that I just totally forgot about. Wow, that's a good one. See, for my sequel, it's going to come as no surprise to you. I mean, how many times did I beat Final Fantasy VII, Episode 1 already, that I'm just hoping we get some news about the release date for Episode 2. I really do. Yes, the game came out in March, so chances are all you're going to hear is a little bit of news, but I'm just hoping we get that big news bulletin about Final Fantasy VII by Square Enix going, it's going to be released in November of 2021, right? Just because I want to continue that adventure as it is in that, and to see outside of Midgar how beautiful this game's going to be. That's what's got me, is the beauty of the game.
Correct. Like, did they ever say that they were going to be releasing it within close time frames?
They were already working on it when they released the Episode 1. So, but again, Square Enix, and sometimes, let's just face it, they take a long time with what they do. Like Final Fantasy VII was in development for how long?
Yeah. And
we got Episode 1. Awesome. So I can just imagine now that we're probably not going to be playing it for 2-3 years, but I'm hoping, again, wish list, I am hoping that we get some really, really good news about it, and possibly a potential release date for this year, which I know is not going to happen. Wish list,
at least a teaser,
as something. I'd like to know, what's the time frame? Am I looking at 2-3 years from now before I can get really excited? But that would be my most anticipated sequel news or anything like that I'm really, really stoked about.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to jump to the second question, because all the questions kind of relate to one another anyways.
Yeah.
But what video game rumor do you hope will be true in 2021?
Oh, like you said, this won't be any surprise for me. It would be Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That's the one remake I want to be true. It's always, every year you always hear something about it. Oh, it's getting remade by this company, or this and this is happening, or they're bringing out a new sequel to it. I just want some concrete news about it at least getting made and released at some future point.
Yeah.
That's one game
Man, we've talked about it before. You've said this for many years, how much you just want to see this game being remade, remastered, anything coming out for it. And I hope we do get that, actually, just because, with everything going on Star Wars now, The Mandalorian, I believe the new Boba Fett series will be starting next fall, I think.
The Book
fall.
That
the
looks
Book of Boba
amazing.
Fett. But, with all that, it's a good time to drop in a new Star Wars game, right? And this is an old one that all the old gamers already have played, love it, and would be, I most them probably the same way as you. Give us that.
I haven't been keeping up too much about it because it's been up and down kind of thing news, but they were talking about releasing a show about the Old Republic.
Yeah.
The past, in that era. That I think would be perfect kind of
just
synergy.
Integrate everything in.
Yeah, to bring it out or to at least talk about as that show's getting released or something in that sense.
That'd be good.
Which I think would be amazing.
It would be. I mean, I've always said, I'm not the hugest Star Wars fan. I love the movies. I won't deny that. But I always did like playing a new Star Wars game. The Battlefronts I always liked. They're always fun to me. Jumping in a TIE fighter and just that sound.
Those games, they were always amazing to me. But as soon as I got Knights of the Old Republic, and you get to choose your story in that sense and
you
be
get
a
to
Jedi.
Be your Jedi. Yep.
You know what I mean? It was amazing.
Yeah.
No more blaster rifles. I get a lightsaber and actually it did feel like I was you know what I mean, waving around, but it still gave me that power.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
See, again, for mine, to you it won't come as no surprise. I mean, I've been keeping tabs on this for 2 years now, mainly, and I've had my hopes up and crushed all at the same time about a couple weeks after when the teaser released at the Video Game Awards last year, and it was from Software, and everyone was saying it was Bloodborne 2, and then it was Sekiro. And then you read up news on stuff yep, they're working on it. Then through interviews you read, it's it's not in the making right now. But my one game that I just really want to hear about is Bloodborne 2. I want to go back into that world.
Yeah.
Everything about that world, I have said countless times, even on video, I'm addicted to that world. From, the Victorian creepy architecture to the twisted villains you're fighting in it, to these amazing boss battles. They're just so grotesque, twisted, nightmarish. Being in that world, it's kind of I'm a huge fan of Dante's Inferno and the Divine Comedy itself. So in itself, it's almost like playing through the 9 layers of hell.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gets you deeper and deeper, and it's more darker and twisted and, offers you a challenge. I mean, to me, that game was the perfect game. That's for me, that's saying a lot, because Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game, but Bloodborne it literally got hooks in me, and it just never let me go. And when I got that tease that Bloodborne 2 was going to be, being made and coming out, released, all these things, I was like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Yep.
And right now, From Software is really working on Elden Ring, and I'm really excited for Elden Ring, because anything that From Software does, I'm all about. But I'm just hoping that after Elden Ring launches, that we're going to hear news that they've been working on Bloodborne in secret for the last little while, and there'll be a release date or just an actual fact saying that yes, we are working on it. That is the one rumor that I want to have come true so badly in 2021 that is pretty much my number one wish list as well of anything I want to hear. So after that, let's get into the next question of what game would you like to find out is being remade in 2021?
Well, I might have to cheat a little bit because I already know it's getting remade, and
Cheater.
I'm really excited about it. I know.
Cheater.
You can call me a cheater all
Cheater.
you want. I'm
Cheater.
fine with it.
Cheater.
Cheater. But
Cheater.
is
Cheater.
System Shock.
Oh.
that game is honestly is my, I wouldn't say childhood, but it's one of those games where it was so much fun playing it as a kid.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those games I wouldn't think about getting remade, but it's now that I know, it's like bring back all these memories, and I'm dying to play it again.
Oh, of course. I mean, it is. It's our childhood.
Yeah,
The best way to put it. See, I kind of got, when I read this question before, I was caught in a little thing there because I've said it many times before. I love when games are remade that I love so much because this lets you go back into a world through another person's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's like watching a remake of a movie. Either they're good or they're bad. So I've said it many times, like to you, that I'm a Castlevania Lord of Shadows fan.
Mm.
And I would love to see those games get remade, just with the graphics and everything like that and the feel of the game. But then I was like, I want to see, again, Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
That was an amazing, underrated game during that God of War kind of spree that came out. And I was just so mesmerized by that world itself. Again, like the whole story, going off the poem, everything. I was like, man, again, if we're going to like go another generation of consoles, now we're going 2 generations of consoles, what could they do with this game to make it look better and play better?
Mm.
Then, like you, I was like, I got to think of my childhood for a second. And there was one game that always stuck out to me as a child. But here's my caveat on this. What really can you do with an isometrical style game as a remake? My game is Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah.
I would love to see it remade, but I don't know what I would like to see it remade as.
See, that would be my problem with that, is like with that game specifically as well. Like,
what do you do with it?
you know what I mean? Like, my biggest fear would be they would try to make it more realistic graphics. You know what I mean? From that cartoony, and
See what I
it
mean,
just
though? But it won't take it away. Like, yes, you'll make it more colorful. You'll make it all these things if you just, put it in HDR and 4K and all these things. Yes, but that's just, you could do the same as a remaster.
Yeah.
So this question actually really got me for a bit. I was like, wow, like something I want from my childhood so badly, but there wouldn't really be much to it.
The only thing I would want them to do is like when they brought back Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
I just up the graphics a little bit,
Yeah.
keep the game initially the same game, maybe add a couple things, this and that,
Yeah.
but make it still the same game.
Exactly.
And then that would be perfect for me. Just like a little master of just bumping it up a bit so we can play it on new consoles.
Yeah.
That would be.
That's what I mean. That to me, that's not a remake. That's just a remaster. So this question literally made me think even more. And I surprisingly don't really have an answer, because the next question we have answers this question as well. Because I've always said I would love to see Mass Effect get remade.
Yeah. Yeah.
A complete remake.
Yeah.
And in regards to our next question, though, our most anticipated game coming out in 2021.
Yeah.
I know yours is Mass Effect. I know that already. And, I don't want to say mine's not Mass Effect, because it is. But I do have another game I'm looking forward to. But that's a remaster.
Mm-hmm.
I would, though, love to see Mass Effect be remade somehow.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to take away from the story and the experience. So that question is actually really hard for me to answer, because I don't know.
I think with a remake of Mass Effect, I honestly, I want to say like my own opinion wise, maybe not remake the story entirely, but like flesh it out more. Like do a remake, if you will, like that, where it's more fleshed out. Like
Well, that's what I mean. Is for a long time, like a long time, ever since, honestly, since Andromeda came out, I've always said I would love to see Mass Effect get remade. And now we're a few months away from the release of a remaster, and I'm extremely excited about that. So I don't know if I really want to see it remade when the remaster is already coming out.
Yeah. Well,
So-
it's at that point you gotta like pick and choose.
That's what I
kind of
mean.
thing,
So it's like, don't want to put the same on for both. Like, it's coming out, I'm excited, it's a remaster. So, that might be that version that's just like, oh.
Yeah.
So I honestly, I can't answer the question before that, well, because I don't know. Like, I love hearing games come out in remakes. I love just jumping into them. I love like all these things. Like, I mean, I could put games up like You know, Manhunt, I'd love to see remade. Max Payne, I'd love to see remade. Like, these are games that are amazing. So, I don't know, for that's a really hard question for me to answer.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, though, after everything we've said, I would go with Manhunt, just because I would love to go back into that world, and, you know, just the outright violence in that game. You know what? A graphic overhaul of that game, generation, the consoles now, would just, you know, look phenomenal to that violent urge inside of people that you just want to have.
Would you want it the re-released version or the original? I already know, but
original.
That's where, with that game, I fear
it will never happen.
Go. Yeah, well, even if it did, they would go the way of the re-released version.
I don't think it would ever happen anyway.
Static kills and stuff.
It wouldn't. I don't think that game would ever happen nowadays. But so for our last question of this episode, on our wish list of things you want to see out of the 2021, thank God 2020 is almost over. What is your most anticipated game coming out in 2021?
See, I have a few. Some I want to hear more before I make a definite decision about. But off the top of my head, I would go Horizon Zero Dawn. Skull and Bones looks really fun.
Yeah.
It's just Black Flag, like, to the extreme, which is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, those games, that's...
Yeah. That's it. For myself, it's Mass Effect Remastered.
Well, yeah.
Legendary Edition. Like, there's not much else this year that's got me. That and Resident Evil: The Village.
Yeah.
And that's just because I really want to jump into that world again. And I like seeing where the Resident Evil games go. You know, it's like one of those ones where this one has that resemblance to Resident Evil 4, and we all love Resident Evil 4. So let's just throw us back into that Village-esque, you know, Europe look to it. And let's see what now we're fighting. Werewolves, zombies, what's new? Mutants of some kind.
It's weird to me.
You know? Just, yeah. Weird. So those are pretty much my wish list for this year. My main one, again, though, being Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Too. That's my main one. If I had to write a letter to Santa Claus, that would be the top present I have up there, literally saying, please tell me this is true.
Yeah. I just want to know. Just give me facts.
I will be a good boy all year if you just let me know.
All right. Well, on that note,
yeah,
I think we should start writing our list of Santa Claus to make sure.
I already have.
Alrighty. Alright, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with what you guys want on your wish list. Alright.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.